Let me bring you in, and even as you talk about your response to what we're seeing, but this drive by the president, the impact on young people. You deal with young people all the time. You ask them to follow the rules set by the institution.
Yeah.
They look outside and they see that their leaders are not following the same rules. Yes. Talk to us a little bit about that and what the future holds if this trend continues.
I want to, first of all, also send the condolences to the families who have lost people during this accident. And
of course we know that it's still unconfirmed. There is a process, but should there be, go ahead.
So, but I want to reflect a little bit and want to be a little more deeper when it comes to looking at corruption. Biblically, you find corruption is mentioned in Genesis 6. In Genesis 6, the reason for the floods and the reason God destroyed the world was because of corruption. And
do you think Kenya is there yet?
We are not yet there because the Bible says everybody was corrupt, and I think this country has men and women with integrity, but there are few. And I want to ask myself a simple question: where does it all start? And I believe corruption begins at the initial stage of the children upbringing. We start with small lies, which grow to bigger lies, and become invested as our activities in corruption.
So no one just wakes up and becomes corrupt overnight.
People don't become corrupt overnight. And I think my view is that we are trying to solve the problem of corruption at the end, rather than dealing with the problem from the origin. And I think one of the things we need to do actively is bringing children in an ethical environment where lies, cheating, honesty, values for work, hard work are inculcated. But when we try to tell a person who has been corrupt for 40 years to stop, it becomes very, very difficult. And therefore, we are probably dealing with a problem which requires deeper analysis, in my view. And my view is that the influence the young people have, we question them. We question young people in this country, even university students. And they say they don't mind corruption as long as one is not caught. Now, in that kind of scenario...
These are people you've personally spoken to?
Yeah.
Young leaders?
Yeah, because they see it pays. Corruption pays in this country. And people get away with it. And when people can get away with the wrong, then it becomes very easily institutionalized. And therefore, my view is that as we talk about corruption, first, it must begin at home when children are being brought up. There are people here who cannot be corrupt. This country has people who are very honest in the morning. And the truth of the matter is, these people were trained on honesty and values at home. And regardless of the situation and environment in which they are, they don't agree to be corrupt.
So let me indulge you further on that. If we are to buy your argument, then it means that if 70% learned their corrupt ways at home, what are we going to do? Because you can't deport them all. They are still here amongst us. So what do we do with them?
I think that brings now the next issue. The systems and processes of ensuring that if you are corrupt, you pay for it.
Which Kiprono actually kicked us off by discussing.
Which he said. And I think one of the things is that because our laws seems to honestly allow people to get away with the corruption, then it's not a surprise that we come from Goldenberg, move to Triton, then after Triton we move to Maize, after Maize we move to National Youth Service and go back to National Youth Service again, and the story continues. Because what happened to the people who have been involved in mega scandals in the past? The truth of the matter is that they are walking scot-free, eating their money, enjoying their fruits, the fruits of their so-called hard labor, of getting resources from the public. And in a due course, many things, social services which are supposed to be offered,
collapse.
Collapse. So my view is that these things need to be looked at in terms of systems. There's still a lot of confusion on the role of different players who are supposed to fight corruption.